with great beer and even better conversations. Welcome to Mind Hops, the podcast with more dad jokes than you can shake an angry fist at.
Sweet Lord, Martha, it's one of those bags again.
Mind Hops.
Step on it, Dad.
It's poop
Where's the
again.
streaming, Jack?
I'll get you damn kids for this.
Broadcasting around the world from Ocala, Florida. Here are your hosts, Trenton Summers and Jack Brennan.
All right. Welcome to another impromptu Friday night podcast. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Later than usual.
A little bit later, but we're still on a Friday, so
Holy shit.
I feel like we're hitting that stride.
We've had some technical difficulties tonight, but we're figuring it out.
Yeah, we're dialing it in.
Oh my god, I barely touched this thing.
It's the palmetto bug.
Dude, for
He's
real.
fucked everything up.
we had a palmetto bug in the studio. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
ahead and turn this off here.
All right, yeah.
Oh, there we
look
go.
at that.
We had a palmetto.
Yeah, fucking
the-
attacking us, dude.
Really? He was taking you down.
Dude,
he
went right. He was
Like-
on my hand. He went right my hand. He was on my hand, dude.
pulled
He
out the
disarmed
spray,
me.
and he's
He
like,
literally
death or dishonor. You know?
Yeah. Well, you're in my home, my territory, my castle.
Yeah,
at
he
this
literally
point.
he chose death.
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't blame him. I would too. In this economy,
Either that or
but he's like, I'm not going back outside.
he didn't know where he was flying, or he was drunk.
No, he knew. He knew.
No, he was a drunk
He
cicada.
went right for me, dude.
He was trying to
He was
get
not a
away.
cicada. He was a palmetto.
Sorry, yeah,
This is a
palmetto.
cicada. I would be less
But-
freaked out.
We spend probably about 10 minutes every week adjusting our audio levels. I
Yeah,
would say.
yeah,
And
yeah.
everyone's like, why does it still sound shit all the
Yeah,
time?
yeah.
But
Yeah, it's still.
anyways, we were talking, and Trenton never adjusts the audio after
don't.
the episode,
No,
so we don't know how
that
it
thing
gets
just
fucked
chills. Unless someone's
Every
breaking into
freak.
my house and like fucking with my
they
audio
don't even
levels.
steal anything; they just come in and
Yeah.
turn your knobs.
Yeah, turning my knob. Which
That
speaking of
sounded
which,
so sexual. Oh, you want to turn my knobs?
wow, this has turned up pretty high too. Sorry, I'm doing a little bit.
Yeah, I went pretty far.
Just
You told me a little bit, and I did a little bit, and you're like, more. And I was like, all right, a little more. And you're like, more. But yeah, we were talking about the palmetto bug comes in here and just fucking walks all over the dials.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Oh, what's up, Holloway, man? Mr. Knob Turner here. Hey, Trenton, you know Holloway.
Holloway?
Yeah, he's in our chat.
Oh, is he? Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
My guy.
My guy.
I think he's an active duty right now. This man's
Nice.
He's in the barracks right now
Oh, sweet, man.
watching this. Let's
Thanks for
go.
joining us, bro.
We got all the ROTC kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, gathered in a circle around Noah's
they're
phone.
all. Oh, hell yeah, man.
Probably, I don't know.
That's gonna be a boring life.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Noah, but I'm not the kind of guy you can be like, I know that guy.
Yeah.
No one gives a shit.
Not yet.
No
They're
one
like,
cares. if
Who's
you know
this
me.
guy with a tie-dyed shirt on? What the fuck?
Fuck.
We kind of look like we're in a cave, like we're we're war, like what do you call that? War prisoners.
Yeah, really. Like one of those videos where they like pull the sack over someone's head.
Yeah.
And they're like, we
Yeah.
need $50,000.
It's okay. We're gonna
Like
create
American does.
an Iron Man suit and escape. It sounds like my audio is pretty low. I don't know why.
You sound great to me.
Do I?
Yeah.
Maybe it's my
You
headphones.
Maybe it's your headset. That's
Yeah, my
usually what it
headphones
is for
might be
me
turned down.
most weeks.
Okay.
You want me to go ahead and
As long as I sound great to you.
you sound fine.
Okay. We're good then.
You sound like your knobs are being turned.
My knobs have been turned quite a bit. I love turning knobs.
So one thing I was thinking about on the way here tonight that I really want to talk about.
Let's do it.
Like, I had to leave work. I wouldn't say an hour early today,
Yeah.
but a little bit. I could have stayed later.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to fucking leave. All right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I think I already gave you a little hint as to why.
Uh-huh. Someone's
My-
turning your
Dude,
knobs.
my ass is so shaped right now.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I think I shaved a little bit too deep on some of the hairs, and they're growing back, and that's why I'm pretty sure. Sorry, everybody, for the graphic.
Okay. So you did some manscaping down there recently.
Exactly.
That could definitely, but it could cause it. Some itching.
Here's like I hate how I feel like the smallest injuries can like stunt us so much. You know, like you get a splinter,
for sure.
you
You're
can't
not
do
talking
shit,
about
you know?
the thing from Ninja Turtles, are you? Say, like,
no,
you
not
get a
the rat.
splitter,
Yeah, I
that'd
got a
be
pet
badass.
rat and I can't do shit anymore.
Yeah.
And like, friends are like, "You want to go outside?" I'm like, "No, I got a rat.
I got a
take
train. He says
he
I
just
need
broke his glass.
Yeah.
I gotta go buy him a new cage.
You were eating pizza.
But like stubbing your toe,
Mhm.
you're incapacitated.
Or like a paper cut
Yes, a
at
paper
a
cut.
certain spot,
Fucking
like on a
hurt.
crease or
Yes, you can't
sensitive
use
spot.
that finger for 3 days.
yeah,
A hangnail,
yeah,
an
or
ingrown toenail,
like a heat rash. You know,
So, this is what I'm saying though. Like little shit like this, bro, like can prevent you from just living your life. A stomach ache,
oh yeah,
a
for sure.
headache. Like
Yeah,
what the fuck?
I know
It's
crazy.
just so annoying. Like I probably worked with a chafed ass for probably 4 or 5
Yeah.
hours today, and
Yeah.
it was hell.
hell.
Like
Yeah,
it was just so bad, dude. And it's just like my ass rubbing against itself, what it does every day.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm like
Yeah.
what is different right now?
Well,
Why
and you-
is this such a problem?
And you don't notice that stuff
Yeah.
until like, yeah, you're doing physical labor or like you're doing something like a heat rash, for example, having a heat rash on the back of your knee. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah.
You know, that crease.
Yes.
It's the worst. And like every time you move, you feel it. I can't imagine like runners, like people who run all the time,
Yeah.
the amount of chafing they must have. You know? Like-
I think they put baby powder on like really
Yeah.
like serious runners.
Like
they use like baby
what about
powder.
like nipple chafing?
Oh.
I think that's a thing.
I think
it's a real
most of the
thing.
guys run shirtless.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I
I,
think-
always thought,
at
at
least
least
when
this guy's trying to flex, but there are a lot of shirtless guys, right?
When I did
What about females,
cross
though?
country, I always ran shirtless. I think they
Yeah.
wear like specific sports bras for it.
Yeah, or like tape
Or maybe
things up.
they just have like tassels underneath.
Hmm.
I love you too, Cody, man. Thank you
Could
for
be.
thank you for
Could be.
joining the
Yeah,
stream. We
thanks.
appreciate you, my guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Fucking Trenton made a little pick at you kind of at the beginning of this episode. So I told Trenton about how everyone comes up and like, you always post on your story about your podcast, but you never post for to fucking watch it. And I'm like, dude, every fucking week.
You did it right this time, apparently.
I guess so, man.
They found it.
But I feel, I have like fallen off my bike. I've crashed skateboards.
That's the thing,
I've sprained ankles. I've
broken
skinned
bones,
like my
I'm sure.
entire
Yeah.
fucking leg.
I broke my
And
toe.
I feel fine.
Yeah,
Like I'll wake up the next day and I'm good to go. But a chafed ass will put me out of commission for a few
for
days.
sure. I've broken many toes and
Diarrhea
it's
a whole week.
uncomfortable. Diarrhea.
Dude,
All right, that's
that's a little more severe than like what we're talking. But
yeah,
like
But-
I feel like I could break a toe and function better than if I had like a paper cut. on
for
my
sure.
finger. Like,
I have, and that's the thing. Like you just taped it up, and
oh, it just makes me so angry. Like I think about this regularly. I'm surprised I never talked about it on here before,
Yeah.
because
yeah.
it's
You ever
not-
get like a cut like on your eyelid or like on your eye?
I have a picture somewhere. I had like a grain of salt on my
Yeah.
face from a truck. We pulled it out and the salt
Yeah.
bag was open, and I went to scratch my face.
Like pool salt?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
no.
I accidentally just dragged the salt down my
Yep.
cheek and just like had a big fucking cut on my cheek, mate.
Yeah.
A big fucking cut on my cheek, dude, and it was just bleeding.
What's up, Jackie? Thanks for joining us. Yeah, you do. You kind of do. a
Oh
little
my
bit.
god, dude! Noah just brought up a good one. Imagine you're on a day off. This pisses me. This is a
Okay.
whole topic, and Noah, thank
I
you so
wouldn't-
much for bringing this
Yeah,
up.
I wouldn't be hiking on it.
This is
Yeah,
a whole topic in itself right here for me.
Yeah.
Every fucking time, and I think I figured it out.
Mhm.
Every time I go to a theme park or I have a day off and I'm doing
Well, theme
something
parks
fun,
are torture, man.
I get a stomach ache. I get a headache.
Yeah, you get sick.
Something goes
Yeah.
wrong, and I think it's the food.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say like on your days off, like you get sick right before your day off, and then you can't enjoy it.
No,
That
it's,
happens to
it's
me a lot.
usually like I'll start off the day okay.
It could be the food. If you're going to like a theme park, yeah, they
Well,
have.
actually, now that
shit
I'm
tons of
thinking about
sodium
it,
and
a
stuff
lot
in
of
it.
times, like the day before, I feel like shit, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
That's what
this
I mean.
is not a good time to feel like shit because I'm gonna be walking around 10 miles tomorrow.
Yeah.
Dude.
I always have that realization too. I'm like, oh, I'm about to be off tomorrow, so I guess it's so good. I'm sick on my day off. Not a damn working, but it's like this sucks. You know, I feel like it's just
Dude,
it happens.
it's so annoying. I feel like there was a pretty good track record of it. Like at least 90% of the time, I would, go somewhere on a day off. I
Yeah.
would not feel good.
Yeah,
And this is I'm not even like this is an alcohol induced because I'm talking
Right,
like before I was even drinking.
right.
Yeah.
Before you get to the good part.
Like, well, no, before like when I was too young to drink.
Yeah,
Like-
oh, I thought you meant like later,
No,
later in the day, like earlier in the day.
I mean, like
you're like,
thir-
fuck, no, I day drink now. As soon as I get up, you're like, I'm off. I'm drinking.
I mean, like 13, 14 years
Yeah.
old.
Oh, before you start drinking heavy.
Before I ever
Okay.
started drinking. No,
I got
I never had like any kind of drink or anything until I was like 16. I don't think.
Like Mountain Dew and stuff, I'm sure.
Yeah, Mountain Dew, baby.
The hard stuff.
Call me Sean White.
Yeah,
but like
Sean White.
it just ruins your entire day.
It does. It does. Yeah. Yeah. I have that bad luck as well.
You know,
I feel
like you would probably like this isn't something you would think about, but most theme parks have like a first aid place like you can go to. And I've actually been to one before.
It makes sense that they would.
They gave me some powdered fucking Advil for dude. It was probably the worst headache of my life. They
charge you like $15 for it.
I think it was free. I think they just gave me powdered Advil for free.
That's pretty dope.
And which is it makes sense because they want you to go back out and have a good time and buy food and buy drinks.
I've seen at concerts stuff like medical tents. Mm-hmm. Yeah, obviously stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, which makes would have been useful at Travis Scott's.
Oh my God, that was so horrible. I was listening to a podcast. It was a podcast I've been binging from the beginning, so it's like I'm going back through time basically. Yeah, and they were just talking about that event that happened. Obviously, it's been a while now, but they were talking. But
you were on that episode for that.
Yeah, and it was just
like we're so current talking about common injuries that piss us off.
Yeah, and it was just like there was the details. I didn't really read the stories. So I didn't know all the details, but the fact that there was also a guy there. I think we talked about it on the podcast, but like just shooting people up with needles. Wasn't there a guy that was like had random drugs and needles and was going around like injecting people with drugs?
He was drugging people like
cops. And that wasn't even like the headline.
Like he drugged a cop or two. Yeah, actually, even, which is pretty crazy.
That is crazy, and that wasn't even the most horrific thing that happened, which is even more insane. Yeah. You know,
that concert was just a fever dream in itself, dude.
Yeah, for sure. And the man has his own burger. It's like what?
Oh, dude.
So anyway,
all the videos on TikTok from that were pretty fucking graphic too. I thought that was pretty crazy.
Oh yeah. Speaking of graphic,
do you think anyone prolapsed at Travis Scott's concert?
I don't know. I don't know.
Their anus?
Yeah, probably. There's a lot of people who got trampled.
Prolapsed.
So apparently, Howie Mandel's kind of.
I hate this story.
Yeah,
I really do because I like Howie Mandel. I've always liked Howie Mandel.
I don't know. He's interesting, but he's a weird guy.
He is a weird guy. He's very eccentric. I think him and Jeff Goldblum are like the same level.
I don't know how to feel about him because he is eccentric. He's entertaining, and I understand he's got this weird, like, no, I guess I think it's weird, but some people probably agree. He's like a germaphobe, right? He's like really even before
he doesn't shake hands
before COVID or anything. It was just like, yeah. And it's hard to tell if he is being an asshole, not just with that, but the way his persona is around other people. Like, you know, certain celebrities have a reputation for being like too good to talk to people. You know, I don't want to be around you.
Well, I mean, you got to look at it from their point of view too. Like they're people themselves, in my opinion. But I think they do own their fans a little bit of time.
Agreed, because it's like because you kind of.
I don't think he is that guy because
you're not that guy, pal.
my grandma and aunt grandma and aunt met him in person.
Yeah.
And like just on the side of the street.
Yeah.
And they have a whole like Polaroid picture. This is years ago. They had like a whole Polaroid picture with him and everything.
See, it's hard for me because I saw a video with him and somebody who I think is like one of the most genuinely nice, cool people, and I don't particularly care for his music. I don't think it's terrible, but like Post Malone, right? Mm-hmm. Would we both agree? Like if you've seen interviews with him, like he's one of the most down to earth, like genuinely good like human being. Cool like guy. He's a really nice guy, right?
Yeah, I'd show him my tits.
Yeah. And you look at him, it's the whole judge a book by cover. Like he probably looks really sketchy. He's got face tattoos, blah blah. But everything
like if you saw him walk into a gas station, you'd probably think you're gonna get robbed.
Right. Or you think you'd just be an asshole, you know? Mm-hmm. But I've seen lots of interviews with this guy. I've seen him playing with streamers like on Apex and stuff. And like every interaction I've seen with this guy, he lives in like Nebraska or something too. Or it's not Nebraska. He doesn't live in LA. He lives like in a very humble place.
Celebrities are starting to move out of LA.
But he's been like that for a long time. But anyway, my point is I saw like him interacting with Howie Mandel. And it just seemed like he was like his normal, like, you know, he's really nice. And I got this vibe that Howie Mandel was just like, he had that judgment, like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, don't talk to me.
Bro,
like,
I'm you know too what I mean? Famous.
Yeah, and I got that vibe, but it's hard to dissect him just because I understand he has that wall of the not wanting to touch people. So it's hard for me to decide where that ends and the other thing begins.
And Post Malone does not look clean either.
No, he doesn't.
He probably walked in the room and Hi Mandel's like, who the fuck is this dirty bubble?
Get this fucking this prolapsed asshole away from me.
No, I don't have $5 on me.
But anyway, that was a complete tangent that had nothing to do with really the topic. But Howie Mandel's on TikTok, right? So he's I've seen some of his TikToks,
bro. out of sphincter.
Apparently there's this big thing that he posted about a prolapse. It's like legit. I never saw the TikTok.
I haven't seen.
It got taken down.
Yeah.
And I came across one of his TikToks. And I was reading the comments, and they're like, "Bro, what's up with the TikTok before this?" There's like a tons of comments of people like what the fuck. So then I clicked on his page, and then I went to the one before that, and it was like it was a weird TikTok, but it was nothing outrageous. And they're like, "Oh, they deleted it." So I never got a chance to see it. Which, from what I understand, it's a good thing, because all the comments I'm reading is people like, what the fuck's wrong with you? I'm traumatized, or like Googled Howie Mandel TikTok and I'm traumatized. There's like memes about that and shit too. So I'm a little curious now, but I don't want to.
I'm not gonna look at it. I know what a prolapsed asshole is. I've never seen one. I don't really have a desire to, but I just. Yeah. Dude,
so
do you think he was drunk? Do you think
because I've seen some of his other ones and they're weird. He's got some really weird ones that are
he's
just
an
bizarre.
Odd dude. Like I was saying, him and fucking Jeff Goldblum, bro.
Yeah,
You're
so right. You're right. They're that's a good person to compare him to or equate him to. Yeah.
Wow.
And Goldblum's pretty self-aware about how
Goldblum is too self-aware now. That's why he's bizarre, because he's like,
gotten more bizarre.
He's like method acting himself in real life now, bro. I like Jeff Goldblum. I really do.
I do too, but he has definitely gone like beyond the cusp of that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
The first movie I ever saw him in was The Fly.
Yeah,
very good movie. I really liked The Fly a lot.
Yeah. I remember. I do remember seeing some of that. Don't really remember it through and through. First movie that really stuck with me, I think, was probably Jurassic Park.
Yeah. He was good in Jurassic Park too, the first one.
Mm-hmm.
But I think very quickly he became self-aware over the last 10, 15 years.
I was gonna say I've seen so many interviews with him over the last 10, 15 years, and a lot of the people are pointing to that. And he does impersonations of himself and shit. And it's just like, what? But
he, that show that came out on Disney Plus, The World According to Jeff Goldblum. It's It's a National Geographic show. It has either 2 or 3 seasons.
I've not watched it.
And bro,
Is it cringy to watch?
I tried to watch it, and it's just him like trying to make jokes, and they're not funny.
Yeah,
him
trying laughing at his own jokes.
Him trying to look like he's like actually trying to be a part of like these things. Like he went to the world of shoe selling, like reselling and stuff like that, like Jordans and whatnot.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna be a shoe salesman.
Well, he was gonna be a shoe. He went to like the actual expo, and he's like looking at the shoes, and I can't remember. It's been over a year and a half since I watched. I didn't watch the second season. I only watched the first episode. Actually, I don't think I even finished the first episode because I was like, this is so fucking stupid.
Stupid, yeah.
I was like, they just gave a guy who has a good following a show.
Isn't that weird too?
They just slapped his name on it pretty much and threw him in it and gave him some money.
It's so weird to see that now, because some people can adapt better than others, but it's weird to see all these celebrities that have had this influence and they obviously have their popularity from movies and stuff, and then you have these like this, I would say it's probably not even new gen, but like somewhat newer with like TikTok and Instagram or whatever, these people who came up, that's where they got their entire fame from, being influencers on there or popular on there. And then seeing these celebrities who have already had this popularity completely separate from social media trying to adapt to the digital age now. Trying to like,
what's insane about
that
still?
Weird superficial a lot of the times. It feels like the movie companies or their managers or whatever is going on are like, yeah, we got to get a part of this hype train, like we're already so big. We got to combine with that. Like, you're going to go.
We're going to get the young people and the old people.
Yeah. It's just doesn't work. Like sometimes it does, but I think most of the time it doesn't. It's just cringy.
They don't mix very well. Yeah, you're going to piss somebody off.
It's like
it is
newspapers
both sides of it.
And computers. It's like old media and new media.
Yeah,
and it's just it's weird.
Fucking. What was I gonna? Oh, yeah. I think it's interesting how internet celebrities have come so far. Still, like they are growing, but they still have nothing on like actual celebrities.
Like, what do you mean by that? Like, qualify that.
I mean by the amount of people that know their name and the amount of money they make.
I don't know, man.
I feel like it's getting close. It's getting close, but they're not quite there yet. They aren't. So most internet celebrities probably do make millions per year, but I mean, we're talking if a movie celebrity like Tom Cruise, Ryan Reynolds, if they get one movie a year, they make as much as, you know, that internet celebrity is going to make in like 2 or 3 years. Like it's still not on the same level yet, but I'm just amazed at how close. That's what I'm saying. I'm amazed at how close it's getting now.
I think, I don't know, like I would have to look at the numbers because I think what you're talking about, I think if you compare apples to apples, like we'll talk about like A-list celebrities, you know,
like Tom Cruise,
etc. But then I feel like you gotta compare them to A-list. I say A-list loosely, internet, like PewDiePie. Or these people that are like,
but there's a lot less of them. There's a lot less.
I don't know. I feel like there's more than you think. Because there's a lot of like I'll see in videos I've never seen before, and they're like they have these crazy big followings, you know. Well, because it's just like streaming, you have the B-listers and stuff that are, you know, it's definitely, I would say the pool of people who can stream, because literally anybody can get into that.
Yes,
is astronomically larger than like actors.
Yes,
you know what I mean. So there's just a lot more to filter through, and there's a lot more competition, obviously, too.
I would think so,
but I think with sponsorships and like,
you're saying with like other income,
yeah,
you think they're getting?
I think they're making like crazy bank, especially, and I think it's definitely
they're on the same level.
I don't know, man. I just feel like movies are not, because it's not what they used to be. People are not going to
that. I can agree with absolutely
that, the streaming services,
but they still, I mean, they still make
they definitely do
chunks of change.
Yeah.
I mean, and also A-list actors, like we're talking, you know, Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth. These people,
you got donations and stuff too.
Well, they don't even just like get money from being in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
You name it ASMR. Bro, I could hear you like salivating. Is it because I talked about Chris Hemsworth?
Yes. Oh man, my headset. I need to turn this up because I'm not picking up on this. This thing's a lot more sensitive than I thought.
But not only are they getting paid for the movie, but sometimes they sign contracts where they get
percentage of the box office profit. And stuff. Yeah.
And dude, I'm telling you, they still make so much more than any internet celebrity.
I wonder if we can, if there's a rough graphic that we can pull up some raw data.
Let's see what PewDiePie's worth. I think he's probably like the biggest internet celebrity.
I don't know. I know he was huge when that's who I think of, but I know I'm not really in the main vein.
PewDiePie is 40
top paid streamer versus.
So it says PewDiePie's net worth is around $54 million. All right.
Okay.
So let's take that. What about Ryan Reynolds? Is he a good?
Yeah, he's huge.
Ryan Reynolds' net worth $150 million.
So 3 times.
About 3 times.
Okay.
And Ryan Reynolds is also a business owner too, so we got to be fair. But PewDiePie, like you were saying, he has other income as well. I mean, he has a lot of sponsorships, a lot of donations on his streams and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't think that internet is there yet. I think it's getting very close for the rest of
Oh yeah.
I think they're getting more business minded as they come up, honestly.
Well, that's the thing too. I feel like I feel like they don't have, like, they're starting to realize the amount of influence they have and the power that they have.
Mm-hmm.
And as that goes on, like, I feel like they're not getting as much money as they should be with
the bathwater.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh dude, Bella, she's probably made a crazy amount of money.
Dude, well, OnlyFans, they just released their earnings. Bad Baby is the number one. The Catch Me Outside girl. Number one earner on OnlyFans. Yep, she's on
Only. I didn't even know she was on OnlyFans.
As soon as she turned 18, she debuted.
Oh my god!
And she's the number one earner now. This is about 7-8 months ago, I think, and she's made about $50 million on it. And that's, I think, not even a year.
That's insane,
isn't it? But I mean, still, OnlyFans. I'm surprised that they're making that little money. But that, again, is just through donations and subscriptions and stuff.
Right.
So, I mean, we're not even taking into account the fact that Belle Delphine sold $30 buckets of bathwater, you know?
Yeah, and I wonder about that because almost all these guys have merch too. The big streamers have merch lines. They have, all that kind of stuff going on.
So I don't know. I mean, but we just looked at raw net worth though. Between
and they have this
Ryan and PewDiePie. Right. I mean, that's just raw net worth, and he's still about 5 or 3 times higher.
It's just crazy too because it's like they have that raw revenue streamed where it's like they literally can get on their computer, turn it on, they're streaming.
I need $5.
And then
Everyone donates $5.
they don't have to like with these actors. You gotta, I mean, the big ones.
You gotta go to work.
You gotta go to work.
You gotta actually be a good
not only
actor.
that, but you have to secure the roles too. You got to go audition for stuff and get the movies.
I feel like
you know what I mean?
when you have a name behind you,
yeah, it's not as stringent. You have people,
but you
calling
still
you have an agent.
do have to work.
Yeah, you're still competing with like Chris. What was it Chris?
Hemsworth, Pratt,
Evans. There was a couple I remember reading where it's like they auditioned to be this person, but someone else, another crazy big lister, got the role for that.
Well, usually when stuff like that happens, I think it's scheduling conflict because they already have another movie they're going to be in. Like I don't think there's any shortage of movie for A-listers to be in.
But I'm saying like they got picked. They didn't get the role. Someone else. They picked someone else over them. You know, but that does happen a lot too. But there are certain times where they'll go for it and then they have someone else they prefer.
Could you imagine like sending Chris Hemsworth a text like, "Sorry, man, we're gonna have to go with."
Well, like John Krasinski, who he was Jam on The Office. He was the Mr. Fantastic in the whatever the new Doctor Strange movie. He was trying to be like Captain America. He auditioned for that.
Yeah. Well,
there's a bunch of people.
I think it's funny that Chris Evans was the Human Flame and then still got Captain America.
And then they were talking about. I was reading an article. They were trying to cast or talking about casting Chris Evans as the Wolverine or something like.
Yeah.
I'm
like, that'd be goofy. Especially
how many superheroes is it gonna be?
X-Men are now in the MCU technically, so that'd be really weird. Wouldn't make any sense.
They're just gonna be like, oh, it's an alternate universe.
Yeah, he's an alternate Chris Evans.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I think it gets to a point where it's like you can only be so many comic book characters in the same world. You know,
think they should introduce a new hero in the MCU. To be honest, in their next movie.
A new hero or like a new actor?
A totally new hero.
Yeah.
Somebody that's never been in the comics or anything.
Oh, just like completely create a new character.
Like brand spanking new.
That would be cool.
Wouldn't it be cool?
I don't think they would.
I don't think Disney has the ability.
Ever would. They're just like, we have billions of these people.
They have infinite tolerance.
You think it would be like, LGB man? Or something like that? He's a rainbow.
And then TQ plus girl. Did you hear they expanded their little letter thing? LGBTQS.
Oh my god! Really?
Plus. Like,
no, the person with their powers would be they could change their gender whenever they wanted to.
Let me see what it is real quick. It's like twice as long as it used to be now, dude.
But it actually wouldn't do anything like physically to them. They would just be like, I identify as a male now. Oh, okay.
LGBTQIA2S plus. LGBTQIA.
It's got to be a meme at this point. Bro, they got to be trolling us.
The plus has always been there. The plus, you can just make it plus.
Yeah,
like
the two plus.
The plus just entails everything. Like,
plus is everything.
Like, who's coming up to the fucking LGBTQ and like, why is my letter not?
You think people are just trolling at this point? They're just adding letters and they're like, they're not gonna do. And then they're like, yeah, it's great. What's added? They're like, how many letters can we add? You know.
They got the whole fucking alphabet.
They got to get the mutants in there.
I can't wait to start teaching the LGBTQ alphabet and like. Cool, bro. All right, now that we did ABCs, now we have to go into the LGBs.
Go on the board with the little stick. What does this letter stand for?
Now I know my genders too.
Start adding numbers to it. Binary, non-binary.
Someday 0, 1, soon 1, I'll 0, tolerate 1. With you.
Yeah. Man, it is getting kind of crazy. With that.
No, it is.
We've talked about we've talked about this before about inclusivity, and how there comes a point where it's like you can't just keep including.
You got us
making everything acceptable.
I've seen so many jokes. We have to bring back bullying.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I don't, maybe. And I've always been a nice guy.
I'm not a bully. I hate bullies, but I do respect. Well, it's gonna sound weird to say.
We just talked about drawing a line.
The natural order of, like, you think in nature, and you're probably gonna disagree with me on this, but I think of like the tiger kills the whatever, and
kills the whatever.
Yeah, you let it happen.
You really thought this one out, didn't
the deer.
You?
I don't know, or a gazelle. You know, you let the lion eats the gazelle.
Yes.
And it's like, that sucks. That gazelle is probably cool. It's got a family. But you think about in a school, it's like, yeah, the big douchey guy picks on the nerd. It sucks for the nerd, but that's, I don't know. That's the circle of life. That's part of nature. I mean, I grew up I wasn't the coolest kid. I wasn't the nerdiest kid. I was in the middle.
Yeah.
But I got. There's a couple people that bullied me. I honestly, I got along with almost everybody. There was one grade. I remember this kid specifically for no reason just started being an asshole to me, and I tried my hardest to be nice to him and be friends with him, and he wasn't having it. He's just being a dickhead to me, and I was like, that's when I realized, is like, man, you really can't be friends with everybody. There's some people that are just literally don't like you for no reason.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
It's because of their own insecurities.
Right. But I don't think it's okay. I don't think people should bully people. And if I saw someone getting bullied, I would try to step in and be like,
bro, it was just
not cool.
It was just a meme I saw.
Pisses me off, man. So, yeah.
Oh.
Anyway,
but
how about them prolapsed assholes? We're about to pull up 10 pictures of prolapsed assholes.
Did you hear about
See if you can determine what ethnicity they are, what gender they are.
Favorite prolapsed asshole. We're gonna do a tier list.
We're gonna include every
tier list.
male, female, gender prolapsed asshole. We're just gonna go through it.
Fast pass to getting
on my ASMR through them.
So did you hear about the twerking senator?
No.
From Rhode Island.
The twerking.
So, yes.
Was he actually, or
no?
was she really
she
twerking?
Like was on a beach in a bikini, and she like flipped over onto her head and was like doing a really advanced twerking move. No, dude, like I'm telling you,
she old?
No, she's like 30, maybe a little bit older. But
hey,
here's my thing, bro. I've seen twerking. I've seen twerking videos. I've seen twerking in person. I've seen a lot of twerking. Okay. I've seen girls like put their feet up on walls and go ham.
What I was gonna ask.
She pulled off like an advanced yoga move.
So
like,
she knew what she was doing.
Difficulty 10 out of 10, bro.
Really?
And like she was on her head and just like dude. I can't like.
Have you seen so there's like a filter. I don't know if it's on Snapchat or what it's on, where it's like these wavy lines.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw a video of an old, like a grandma, and she was like, it looked like she was like dancing and twerking because the lines were like waving. No. That's what I was going to ask if somebody took like a video of a senator and just put a filter on it. Looked like they're twerking. It's legit.
True
legit twerking.
Oh, yeah.
Man,
I didn't watch the whole video, but she seemed kind of like proud of the ability.
You might have to send me the link so I can do some research on that.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm kidding. No, that's crazy.
But like, what if she, like got tipped for that? Like if that was like an OnlyFans.
Do you think she got like points out of it?
Here's my thing on it, dude. So, there's lobbying. Like people can get lobbied for office.
Yeah, all the time. That's been going around forever.
So why is it? And I'm not defending this, okay? I'm saying both are wrong right now. That's what I'm getting at.
Well, you're saying you think like OnlyFans lobbied her, gave her money for that?
I'm thinking if she wants to go that route and she wants to get her campaign funds from, throwing it back on video, I don't think that would be a problem.
No?
But the only reason I'm saying this is because lobbying's okay. Like, I think both should be completely illegal.
I guess when you look at it that way, it's like, people lobbying is just as sleazy as that.
They're sucking that dick to get that coin, man.
Yeah. Well, they're paying to do things in the shadows and support other people that is not on the up and up.
Exactly.
So I agree.
They're using their power.
Yeah, they're doing
to make extra money, and she would just be using her body.
Yeah. Hey.
So I just
respect.
Personally, like I said, I think they're both wrong. But
what's her link to donate?
And here's the thing: like, obviously, she's not going to be removed from office because she twerked on video. But she is getting
you never know.
Mad
There's some weird
criticism
shit.
And
really
bury it.
Like,
she doesn't.
I'm surprised she's not getting more support from like millennials and stuff.
I'm sure somewhere there's somebody that's like, yeah, bitch, like I guarantee it's happening. But they're gonna add her to the alphabet for LGBT.
Oh, they're gonna add another letter.
They're gonna add TS, twerking senator plus.
Look, I'm down for that. I wanted to see it happen.
Twerking Senator Plus sounds like a fucking streaming service.
It does. I'm gonna get a beer.
Right. No, I'm good. I got plenty.
Yeah. Sorry, our podcast is super professional.
Yeah, so you're gonna see Trenton behind me here in a second, opening his fridge. Bam. Oh. But dude. So what if like Mitch McConnell opened up like an OnlyFans for his toes?
Oh, I thought you were going to say he's going to start twerking. That would be like, what about Nancy Pelosi? and get her.
I don't think Mitch McConnell could twerk. I don't think his back is strong enough. And Pelosi absolutely cannot.
I was gonna say I don't think any of those people could twerk.
She's a skeleton with like leather stapled on her, bro.
I made this. I've talked about this movie before.
She's built like a hairless cat.
She reminds me of the Dead Silence movie, where at the very end you find out this guy is literally in a wheelchair and he's been dead and someone's puppeteering him.
I've never seen Dead Silence.
You should watch it.
Well,
it's not great, but
my dad,
it's funny.
My parents watched it with my sister, and my dad apparently made fun of it the entire movie.
It's not good.
Ruined it for everybody.
Yeah. My dad used to do that too. And then as I've grown older, I do that sometimes.
I do that.
Yeah. And then I'm like, I'm probably ruining it, but it's always for really bad movies.
I have a topic you're gonna love, actually. I don't know why I didn't write this down. You ready for it? Did you hear about the gatekeeping for Metallica and Kate Bush?
No.
You didn't hear about it?
No.
So obviously, you know, Kate Bush, Stranger Things, Flute.
I can guess
her first top 5 ever.
Yeah.
Metallica, Master of Puppets.
Yeah.
In that last episode.
And metal fans are pissed about it, right?
Metal fans are like, I've been a fan of Metallica for 40 years.
This, man.
I don't understand, dude.
This is always happens in culture. Every time something gets popular from a TV show.
That's like Matthew McConaughey. I drove a Lincoln before it was cool. But he was paid to do that.
Yeah.
Like
I hate people, and this is like a type of person because you come through life, you see this all the time.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times it's with like, I don't know. It's everything.
It's that guy when you go to work and you're like
indie people.
It's when you go to work and you're like, I only slept for 4 hours last night. Like, I only slept for 3 hours and 50 minutes.
I slept for negative 3 hours. Somebody stole my sleep away from me. In fact, no, was stealing sleep.
Well, I shit myself last night.
Yeah. I hate that, man. I hate people. It's like
drives me up a wall.
I'm such the opposite person. Like I'm so happy when, especially older, younger, whatever, when people discover stuff that I appreciate or stuff that maybe I don't even appreciate, something that I just like when people discover stuff and they can enjoy it. And I think that's great for the band and for everybody.
Specifically, this one I really like because I've always been a metal listener. Like nowadays, it's a little bit less because I listen to a lot of modern stuff. But dude, that
gave me goosebumps.
The younger generation, if I ever go to a party or have a party, I can't fucking play shit like Metallica or like Judas Priest. I can really play AC/DC.
Crazy to think.
Everyone's gonna look at me like, who the fuck is on aux?
That makes me sad that you're saying that to me, and I'm just like, that's the most like, and I'm not being that say on the box being an old guy, but Metallica is got to be one of the most known,
absolutely mainstream
rock,
heavy metal, and
the fact that younger generations don't know even at all.
Well, that's what's so good about the situation.
But no, it is great. I like that this is introducing them to that.
I think we could see something come from this in the future too. Like TikTok runs off of trends.
It does. Yeah.
And if Metallica is trending right now, somebody's going to do covers. People are going to be making their own beats to it. There's going to be remixes, and it's not going to stop there. They're going to go through the whole like Metallica list now.
I hope so, but I see with the little bit I know about TikTok, I feel like they're probably just gonna beat the death out of that one song.
Master of Puppets is gonna get.
I don't know if they're gonna branch off into unless I think it starts sprouting up in other media. I hope so.
Metallica, I think, is a good band for that because a lot of their music is unique enough.
Yeah,
but also similar enough. You ever listen to a song and you're like, I need to find a song similar to this, but not the same song, so I can still have the same vibe.
All the time.
Metallica's entire playlist is literally that. It's literally, you like that song? Well, you'll like this one too. It's not the same song at all.
Right.
You know? And you're going to have the same fucking vibe from it. And I think Metallica is a great example of stuff like that.
And I feel like I'm old, a little bit older than you, but I knew when I was growing up, I didn't listen to, I knew Metallica. I listened to some Metallica. And I remember specifically the time when my brother's stepson, who was, he was like 10 or 11. I think I was like 18 or 19 at the time. And he discovered Metallica and he fucking was like super into it. And he's all the CD and stuff. I remember at the time I was kind of like, Metallica. Because to me, in my generation, Metallica was very well known, but it was that mainstream to me. And I was like, I grew up in high school and seeing the kids with the Metallica shirts and stuff. And I was just like, bro, Metallica, I'm sick of seeing Metallica. I'm sick of people, associating like, oh, it's so hard rock. I didn't really appreciate Metallica when I was younger. I kind of thought it was like they're kind of overplayed and burned out. But as I've gotten older, like honestly, I'd say in the last 10 years, I kind of started listening to some more, especially when my brother's stepson was like into it.
And then when
I
you
was
saw
like,
it
I
on Stranger
appreciate it a lot
Things.
more. Yeah, now I love it. I hate it. No,
Shit, I've liked Metallica for 4 months.
I did. Yeah. How dare you?
How dare you edge it on my good time?
But I was kind of that.
There's only a limited amount of Metallica to go around. You're not allowed to have it.
I kind of shit on it a little bit when I was in high school, but now as I got older, I appreciate it a lot more. I've listened to a lot more. Like you said, I noticed that because I only really knew the big ones like Enter Sandman. I heard that all the time growing up, and then I'm like, man, I'm tired of hearing this. And then you listen to their library, and it is very different.
It's unique, but it's the same
it sounds
vibe.
Similar. It's the same vibe. And then they've reinvented themselves on several albums where it's like their sound has changed, and they got shit for it sometimes. From their main
gets
fans.
shit when they try something new,
something different.
It was the gatekeepers coming back.
Yeah.
They were like, "How dare you ruin
We're the original
Metallica?"
gatekeepers. Yeah, exactly.
Who do you think you are ruining my Metallica?
There's so many classic bands too, like Led Zeppelin and like Blue Oyster Cult.
I love Led Zeppelin.
That I love that. Even when I was younger, I never listened to their deeper cuts.
Blue Oyster Cult used to be. Well, we already talked about.
We
this.
did.
You fucked me over one time.
I fucked you up.
You
on
got
that
me
because
good.
I actually listened to some really, I wouldn't even say deep cuts, but more than like the three that people know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Burning for You, Cities of Flame,
Mhm.
Don't Fear the Reaper, Astronomy, Godzilla,
Flaming Telepaths, Black Blade.
I've heard of Black Blade.
That was really good because I played it. I think I played
Either way, I love Blue Oyster Cult, bro.
I
They rock.
love them too. Yeah.
But I just think it's so fucking goofy, bro.
I think it's super goofy too, and I hate people that have that mentality. The gatekeeper mentality is such a fucking.
It sounds like such a Stranger Things villain too.
It does. Yeah, they should introduce the gatekeeper.
That would be so funny.
And he's literally
funny.
sitting by the portal.
You know what
He's
else?
like, you can't come in here. You're not cool enough.
They should have Will Byers. Like they should open up the next season with him getting a haircut.
Yeah,
because it's been such a meme, bro. His haircut.
They should. How do they got to stick with it? Have you seen? So since we're just talking
more of a bowl cut.
Yeah. Since we're talking about, we just organically went to Stranger Things. I saw a little thing about it today that they've alluded to like maybe another villain in the final season. Have you seen anything about that?
Yeah, I did.
What have you seen?
I haven't read about it. I just saw that it exists.
So I mean, there's a small theory. I don't know if we talked about this on the stream, but this isn't but Eddie might not be dead. That apparently in the D&D game lore, there's a vampire that comes back. So there's a vampire knight guy that is Vecna's right-hand man, and he actually ends up turning against him in the D&D lore and kills him. And he's like this dude with like bat tattoos all over him and shit. And people are like, well, Eddie got bit by these demi-bats and they didn't see his body and blah, blah. And admittedly, that would be really fucking crazy and dope if they did that. I don't.
Be a good way to get the character back too, because everyone loved it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but the one I saw just most recently was, how that Will had that painting, the dragon, the Hydra, like the 3-headed dragon.
Yeah.
And there's that meme where he had his head turned. But people were talking about how in almost every season, when they were playing the D&D games, they introduced the villains through the D&D game. And I guess in season 1, there was I don't know how it's pronounced, but that's a Hydra or something. Mm-hmm. And they're playing at the very end of season 1. Will's like, oh, I shoot a fireball. And it's like this little Hydra, and he kills it with the fireball. And it's the same thing that he drew out. So people think that, and there's a scene when they were in the Upside Down, when Steve and all of them were gathered and they were going to the house and they heard like a roar and you saw the ground shake. Yeah. And apparently in the closed captionings, I saw a clip where people in the closed captioning, it says creature roars or something like that in the closed captioning for it. It doesn't say like demi bats or anything. It says literally creature roars.
So there's something else in there.
Yeah.
Probably.
So they think that it's going to be the Thessus Hydra, or I think there's this red dragon. It's called like Dromore or something like that. That's in D&D lore. And they say it's the only creature that's stronger than Vecna in the lore. Oh. So it might be him. So
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. I thought it was. I honestly just expected.
And I'm curious to see what the Upside Down actually is too.
Yeah. I think it would be really dope if they did introduce. I wasn't expecting them I still don't expect them to introduce a new creature. I feel like with the Mind Flayer and Vecna, I feel like that's enough for them to just take care of those two, you know?
Yeah.
But if they added like a bigger...
Well, Vecna created the Mind Flayer, so if they can kill Vecna, maybe they can kill him too.
Yeah, as far as we know, yeah.
Well, I don't
think he created it. I think he molded it.
So he heard the voice, and then he like gave it a body. That's why it looks like a spider.
Right, but I think he didn't create it because it looked like that.
It was a being already
was there. He just gave it shape,
kind
of thing.
I think so too.
But I mean, we both could be wrong, but I don't know. But interesting stuff.
Back to Metallica real quick.
Yeah.
I love how much they embraced the whole Stranger Things thing.
Oh, have they?
They told everybody, they were like, everyone's welcome in the Metallica family for one. And then two, they did a little video.
Dope. I like that.
They were all wearing Hellfire Club shirts.
Oh, that's so cool.
It was really cool, man. It was super wholesome, bro.
I love too that I've seen little clips of the guy who played Eddie. Like actually,
he can actually play the song. Puppets, and it's like really good too. It's not even just like he knows it. Like it's good. Like he's.
I know. I've seen those videos. I'm like, dude, that's pretty fucking cool.
That had to be one of the coolest snes in like TV history.
Yeah, that
Stranger Things is a little bit cheesy in my opinion.
It is,
and sometimes it bugs me, but that was one of the coolest fucking scenes.
Was cool, and it didn't even feel like we talked about how it felt so artificial with Eddie going back, and I thought it was like a stupid
he had no reason to
do it. But I thought that whole sequence was cool. It was a little cheesy. I mean, but he was creating music to draw their attention.
Yeah,
and it was such like a rock music video with the fucking bats all around him, like flying down, like. Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
When did Master of Puppets release? Was that?
It's been out for probably 80s, maybe.
It must have been like
maybe
that.
Early 90s.
It must have been that because the show was based in '86.
You're right. It would have had to have been made.
1986. It came out technically that year.
Dude, that's kind of perfect too. That in lore that it fit.
That makes sense.
It does make sense. That makes me appreciate it even more that they put it down to the year.
Yeah.
And the song itself, Master of Puppets, and Vecna's like,
Vecna's controlling like the bats.
Could not have picked a better fitting song.
For real. No, it doesn't get better than that, does it?
No, it doesn't. But I still like the boys better. But
I fucking love the boys.
I appreciate that too.
Did you hear about BMW and the subscription for the car? So they're not doing it in America. I'm gonna lead with that.
Yet.
Well, no, they already tried it in America.
What?
Apparently, they already tried like a subscription service in America. So you're not subscribed. My ass hurts so bad,
You're
bro.
good, bro. I know these chairs are not.
I'm down here.
Okay, comforting.
Apparently, they already tried a subscription service in America, like in one of their last generations of car.
Okay.
And it did not go well. I'm gonna get there in a minute. It did not go well in America at all. So they gave up on it. And now it's only being introduced in like Asia, I think, like China. And
because they love subscriptions.
You're subscribing for software that is built into the car. Like
DLC.
Like seat heaters.
No.
Like
no way.
Stuff on the tablets that they have in the car, the screens. Yeah. Specifically seat heaters, that's the big one because like the seat heaters are already in there.
That's some EA shit right there.
For real.
Bro, that is mind-boggling.
How flimsy are seat heaters anyways? Every time I get in a car that's supposed to have seat heating, it never works.
That seems very well, we live in Florida, but even if I live in Florida, that seems super unnecessary. But I mean, I don't live in a cold place, so
it's a Mercedes. I mean, I'm sure the Mercedes probably last a little bit more.
That just pisses me off. I'm not a rich person, but
even if I was, I wouldn't buy a fucking Mercedes.
That kind of pisses me off, even for rich people, because it's like, people, I don't know. I don't want to generalize, but I feel like most people who own a Mercedes or that in a situation like that probably don't give a fuck. Like they're just like, it's more money. I don't care. Whatever. Make it work. But that's so predatory. Like that makes me mad. Even if they don't need the money. Even if it's just in China. Even if it's just in China, that pisses me off. Yeah.
So funny.
That's such a precedence to set too.
As soon as I fucking read that, I just laughed.
Imagine if your car was like that and it was like they set a certain amount of gas mileage per hour, like how well your car did on gas. If
you want the premium MPG,
that's what I'm saying.
So now you're just basically breaking even.
Yeah. I can't even imagine, dude. I'd be so mad.
I can't believe that they can control that. Like, what if you fucking put your car in airplane mode after you get the subscription?
Yeah, for real. What if you lose connection?
We gotta take his seat heating away. We can't, sir. His car's off the grid.
I'm sure there's ways to hack it. There's gotta be ways to hack it. Yeah.
It's if it's software in there, anybody who knows how to
Yeah.
put together a fucking PC can probably get in and do something.
Yeah. And
Just connect
it's
a
China.
flash drive to it.
It's in China too. Like
you fucking jack the seat heaters up to where you could basically microwave a hot dog in your car.
melts.
You put your asshole prolapses.
Yeah. Can you imagine that? Like pirates selling. That's what's gonna happen. Then you have a market for pirates, software pirates, to sell the.
You know how they used to sell like jailbroken iPods, jailbroken Mercedes.
You remember like Fire Sticks?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I got a quick little story. When I started a job. I can talk about it because I don't work there anymore. But I worked at a warehouse for a bit, and there was this guy I knew, and he was a smart guy, awesome guy, older guy though, but he's really smart. He worked in inventory control. Like he was very smart guy. But technology, it was one of those things that like for some reason in a certain category, because he was like in his 60s probably. He was not good with his phone or like very simple things.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, but he was such a smart guy in other ways. It's like you don't understand it. And there's a guy at the warehouse who would take Amazon Fire Sticks and put apps on them in like movies and shit, and he would sell them for like $50 or something like that. And he wasn't buying them. He was just getting like they would give him your Fire Stick, and he would do it and give it back to you. And the guy's name, we'll say his name was Jimmy. And I remember talking to Jimmy, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do this, because I got a Fire Stick." He's like, "This guy will, hook you up, whatever." I'm like, "Jimmy, it's not hard to do." I was like, "You literally watch a YouTube video, and you can add app. There's like a setting on your thing. You can turn it off, and you can add apps on it." And I just remember like trying to explain that to him at lunch one day.
It's like
the entire life he could not figure out. And I remember bringing it up on my phone. I'm like, "Jimmy, I'll come over to your house and do it for free. Like this dude's taking advantage of you." But that's what I can imagine. It's like people doing shit like that.
That's fucked up.
It is fucked up. It kind of pissed me off.
That kind of reminds me, and I don't know why it reminds me of this, but back when GTA 5 was like still newer, and you'd log into a lobby and someone messaged that you won $1 million, I'd feel like I'd be like an accomplice in a crime because I knew like Grand Theft Auto, Rockstar's all about like, well, we can't just give people free money in the game, like digital dollars. But
really,
I'm like sitting here, I'm like, should I take $1 million?
But you're in Grand Theft Auto. It's like the most perfect place to commit crimes.
So many lobbies where people would just like message everybody in the lobby and be like, I can do this for you.
So what did you do with that? So I played a lot of GTAs. I did play 5. I never played online much. What was the incentive of the money other than like you buy weapons and stuff, right?
You can buy cars. You can buy cars. You can buy a house.
You can buy a house.
You can buy
really. There's like real estate.
Actually, you can buy a yacht now too. Tanks, jets.
Was it in a persistent like in a world like you buy the house in this guy's game, and then any game you go into, you have the house?
It's your online. So any lobby you get into, it is your house.
Okay.
You drive up to it and you can enter, and that's
kind of confusing though. So like, what if somebody in their own online buys that same house that you bought?
Then you guys will pop up, like your cars will be outside the same house, but it won't be the same house when you like enter it. And you can also what they did. So you could buy houses, but the houses were a little bit cheaper. If you wanted something really nice, like a penthouse, you could just drive your car into the garage for the hotel, and it would just spawn you in a penthouse.
Gotcha.
So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it's like a shared property potentially.
Technically, and the hotels worked out better because then you wouldn't leave your house to somebody else who was there, which was pretty rare anyways, to be completely honest with you. It was pretty rare.
So many properties.
There were a lot of houses and a lot of people, there's different like caste systems pretty much. People who can afford different houses.
Yeah.
I know I saved up a lot. I got a penthouse eventually in a hotel, and that was really cool.
And that's like an instanced area. So when you're in your penthouse, nobody can come out and just like start fucking shit up, right?
They can fly a helicopter outside and launch rockets out the window, but it's not going to do shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They can't get through the windows and like kill you.
Yeah, the windows are bulletproof pretty much.
And rocket proof. That's pretty cool. Sorry, I had to get a little history. I had a little.
GTA Online is so much fun. There's a reason they keep putting more into it. Actually, this leads me to another current topic. This is really funny. So I think we talked about this a while back, where people were clowning on Rockstar because they were not updating Red Dead. Yeah. They were not fucking updating it.
Yeah.
So people were dressing up as radio clowns, and they were just like beating the fuck out of like hardcore players, just clowning on Rockstar because there were no updates. Everyone did everything in the online world.
Got really fucking bored.
And then finally, about 2 months after that, Rockstar comes in and they released a fucking hunk of content.
Really?
To be fair, okay.
Yeah.
But they have not supported the game like they claimed they were going to still.
Hmm.
They aren't doing anything constant updated, really. Nothing like Grand Theft Auto. And so now the players, probably the same people who did the Rodeo Clown, are planning a funeral for the online.
Oh, really?
Like in the online. They're going to have a funeral for the game.
I mean, if you look at it from a developer standpoint in the time period, I feel like it might be a little bit more challenging to add interesting content to a game like that in a way. With I mean, there was no cars or anything, right? So it's like you can only make so many different. But I mean, horses, you know. Yeah. You can add different types of horses, but you can't add like spaceships.
You can add new bounty missions, just like they do in. You can add new horse races, like they do in Grand Theft Auto with the car races and stuff.
Yeah,
and a lot of the races
add more content, but I'm just saying, I feel like it's more challenging in that time period to add more interesting.
I think things. If the game did as well as Grand Theft Auto, it's a whole nother story. But it just
you think that's why they just?
And I think the reason Grand Theft Auto did so much better is because there is so much more freedom.
Yeah,
you know, like you can.
Well, it's more modern too.
You can actually drive a tank in a city, and it makes some semblance of sense. You know, like their tanks exist, cities exist.
That's what I'm saying.
But you can't drive a tank in Red Dead. Yeah,
that's exactly what I'm saying. The content, there's more freedom with content. You can just pretty much drop anything into GTA and it makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas when you live in that whatever time period, obviously way back in the day with
they're kind of locked in a little bit.
Yeah,
true that. But I think that's like a double cause right there, because the reason Red Dead's not being supported is because it doesn't do as well as GTA, and the reason GTA does better is because there's so much more freedom.
Yeah.
So a little bit roundabout, but yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
I gotcha. No, I mean, I did play the first Red Dead. I never played the second one. I downloaded it.
So good.
And I enjoyed the first Red Dead, but I did run into that very shortly into the game after I beat it and played the online a little bit. I did get very bored pretty quickly.
In Red Dead?
The first Red Dead, yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know anything I didn't even know it had online.
It did, yeah. And you know, that could be on me personally, but I just kind of ran out of interesting things to do, because like I remember you could like lasso players off their horses and stuff, and that was fun for a minute and just drag them around.
But you can do that in the new one too.
Yeah,
you can hog tie them and throw them on your horse too.
Yeah, and then I remember like going into the big city in the first game and like climbing on the roof and just like shooting people and getting like the marshals mad at you, and that was fun for a little bit. But then it was like I just didn't know what else to do. Yeah. I got bored.
Red Dead 2 is a blast. The online kind of pissed me off because if you're any level below anybody and you don't have a good gun, you're fucked.
Oh, really?
Just like Grand Theft Auto 2 online. Like, you know, you have a little like a car and you're trying to have a good time and have fun, and then someone just spawns a fucking tank and just like obliterates you.
That can be difficult.
It's so fucking annoying, bro.
That's a tough thing to balance, because I can appreciate
actually I have another little story about
having something to look forward to and getting stronger as you play, progressing, but then it definitely gatekeeps new players and makes it does. I kind of hate that about games when a higher level you have no chance against a lower level.
I got one story about each game real quick.
Okay, go for it.
So for GTA 5, I actually bought an airplane hangar, and you can own your own business. Okay. So I owned my own, like, you know, business where I would steal stuff and I would fly it to places. And obviously being a pilot, I was like, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So I would steal like art, I would steal drugs, I would steal medical equipment. And then every fucking time, bro. So these are missions you set up on your own. Like you kind of request these missions from your hangar.
Yeah.
So it was an online mission.
Yeah.
But I asked for it.
Yeah.
And so once you pick up the cargo, which some of these missions were literally impossible, by the way.
Really?
Oh my God, so fucking hard. Some of them, like I don't understand why it had to be so hard.
Yeah.
But so once you pick up the cargo, it gives you like 2 minutes, and then it pings your location to every player in the lobby. And if they can take you down, they get money from it, like a good amount of money, enough to it be an incentive. Like if you're within like a mile or two of them in the game, it's a good incentive to you know go fuck somebody over. So I tried so many times to get into GTA Online and like get somewhere, and every fucking time, bro, I just got obliterated. And I was like, I'm not just gonna sit here and bang my head into a wall for 2 more hours trying to pass this mission.
So when your plane gets destroyed too, is that like you lose that investment, or does it respawn?
You lose that investment.
No
the
shit.
money. So the money I spend to get the item shipped or whatever is gone, and I don't get any money back or anything.
Do you lose the vehicle as well?
The vehicles spawn every mission, so they come with the mission.
Gotcha. I mean, that still sucks.
There's one where you have to impress some business guy's daughter for her birthday, and you have to do like aerial stunts and stuff, and that is the hardest one. I've gotten very close to beating it, but I've never beat it. It pissed me off beyond belief.
Damn.
Anyways, the Red Dead story now.
Yeah.
This one was more aggravating for many reasons.
Okay.
So I actually tried to get into Red Dead Online again. Like I really put in some effort. I really wanted to get into it because I fucking love Cowboys. Yeah. And I think it would be so much fun to have an online game with my friends where I can go and be a cowboy for a little bit.
Yeah.
And every time I finished a mission, I would disconnect. It happened 3 times in a row.
Ooh, that's not good.
You know what happens then?
What's that?
I lose everything.
Oh no.
Literally, like everything I gained from that mission, gone.
Wiped.
And I just wasted an hour of my time.
That's brutal.
And that's my thing, dude, with games. Like, I love Elden Ring, but at 23 and you at 32, right? You're
33.
33 now. That's right.
Yeah,
you turned 33 last month.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have time.
We don't.
To bang our head against a wall for 3 hours.
And
we just truly do not.
It's unfortunate.
I mean,
there's a lot of games I can't.
You work 60 hours a week before I met you. Now you work a shitty schedule, which pretty much makes you feel like you work 60 hours a week. I work 60 hours this week. I usually work about 50, 45, 50.
I was working like 70.
We just, and everyone listening to this, same goes for them too. I mean, most of our listeners, I think, are full-time employees. But
even 40...
They're getting this. You do not have time to spend an hour and a half and get fucking nothing out of it. And I understand people are like, games are a waste of time. And to an extent they are, but it's a hobby.
They're entertainment.
It is a hobby. 100%.
It is a hobby. Yeah.
And everyone needs to have a couple hobbies.
Yeah.
But like, why am I going to continue this hobby if I'm putting an hour in and not getting any kind of reward? Even if it's a fucking digital number of money on a screen.
Right.
I'm not even getting that.
Yeah. No, that is super frustrating.
You know what that's going to do? That's going to make me turn that game the fuck off.
Yeah.
Like Super Mario 64. The camera, trash. I tried to play this the other night. I literally was like banging my head against the controller out of aggravation because I was so fucking done with it.
And that's what's frustrating because when I was younger and when you were younger, I'm sure.
When I was a young
when you were in school and you didn't have to work or whatever, you could have, like, your time was pretty much not, I mean, it was valuable, but not really. You could expend it, frivolously.
Yeah.
And I would play games like probably a lot of like unforgiving games back then, like Mega Man and shit, where it's like you didn't have saves and if you died, you were fucked and you lost all that progress. The beginning. Yeah. And it was like it's like, okay, I'll still get through this. But nowadays I can't play games like that. Like you said, like I can't appreciate it and I don't have the time to get through it. It's that's literally a waste of my time. I mean, like you said,
if you can binge a game for 6 hours, like, I died. Yeah. Now you're like, fuck!
Yeah.
God damn!
Like, I just wasted all of my free time for this week.
Yes.
Which brings me to have you seen that there's a Resident Evil show on Netflix?
I've heard
have you seen
so many mixed reviews. I haven't watched it. No.
So
I've heard really good reviews and I've heard
really bad ones.
Really bad ones.
Yeah. I've been trying to figure it out myself. I've been looking at I'll be admittedly when I got home, I put it on a few nights, few mornings, I should say.
I figured you would watch. I was actually gonna ask you about this.
But
I'm glad you brought it up.
I haven't sat through enough of an entire episode to really get an honest opinion because I've been falling asleep. And again, it's just my work schedule. It's not so much a show, but I've been putting it on when I get home, and it's just like sometimes I do that. It's like background noise so I can go to sleep. But I've seen a little bit of it, and there's some from what I've seen. There's some interesting action. I saw a sequence today, and it looked interesting. But there's a lot of. It definitely seems like there's a lot of shit they're just throwing at the wall. And I know Resident Evil has like lore out the asshole. There's been so many games.
I've heard it does fun stuff with the lore.
And I think
but I've also heard it just kind of feels like a show that they slap Resident Evil on too.
That's what I feel like so far, because from what I've seen, I don't want to say it's like a slow show, but it's been slow for me. Like there's been a lot of like talking and dialoguing and I'm sure they're building up to like, oh, this is what the world was before shit got real bad. But it hasn't, I will say it hasn't drawn me in. Like the bit I've seen of the first episodes and whatnot. Yeah. Haven't been like, oh, I gotta watch this, So I'm not super impressed with it yet. It might get better. Maybe it's just I haven't given it like its good shot, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not crazy about it so far. I'll say that.
Yeah.
But I've seen like a giant spider so far. I've seen a giant caterpillar thing, zombie caterpillar looking thing. That was a little interesting.
Are the effects pretty cool?
They're not bad. They're not amazing.
Okay.
They're
better than like the first Evil
okay.
Dead. About on par. I love Evil Dead.
I would say no, because Evil Dead was like practical effects, and I like practical effects, and I feel like they age very well. This is CG, and you can tell it's CG. Okay. It's not practical. So no, I would say no.
So it's CG, and it's subpar.
Subpar CG, in my opinion. I would say, trying to think of something to compare it to. You ever seen it like any other Netflix original show?
I've seen a few. Yeah.
Like the CG on
The
that.
Witcher.
Maybe not as good as The Witcher. Maybe around The Witcher, I guess. Maybe, I don't know. CG is passable, but you can definitely tell it's CG. I'll say that. But yeah, I played the Resident Evil games growing up, and I enjoyed them. I think media-wise, I don't think there's been any really Resident Evil movies or shows that I've been blown away with to this point. So, and they've made a lot of Resident Evil media. They've done like movies. They had like a CG TV show, I think. A couple probably, or movies. But only time will tell. I can tell that there's a character named Wesker, and they've definitely changed him quite a bit. I'm pretty sure he's like the father of these two girls in the show. Yeah. And from what I can tell, like they completely changed the way he looks. Seems to be the way he operates. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. I'll have to rewatch it. But I think the father of the two girls in the first episode is Wesker, Albert Wesker.
I gotta be honest with you, I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah,
I'm not huge on Resident Evil.
I probably won't go back into it unless I get really bored. But yeah.
Did you hear about James Cameron's comments?
About what?
About Avatar?
I don't.
There's been so many memes. Dude.
No.
People are like, I don't even remember the characters from the first movie.
I don't.
That shit's from 2009. And James Cameron is literally like telling people to shut the fuck up. I'm not even. Really? There are quotes, like the quotation.
Really?
They can just shut the fuck up.
So he's like that trigger.
Here's what I'm gonna say.
That's really funny.
James Cameron usually makes a good movie. Mm-hmm. More often than not, I think he's pretty.
Yeah, he's done some good shit.
Pretty consistently good.
Titanic, Terminator.
But
those two.
Mm-hmm. The last thing I want to see a director who's trying to sell a movie.
Shut the fuck up. Tell literally the criticism.
At least say let the movie speak for itself.
Right.
You know, don't
that's
say
a really
shut the
immature
fuck up.
thing to do.
Like that's when you know the movie is going to be bad.
Like I could see him telling like the people interviewing him to shut the fuck up. Like what do you do? I don't want to hear that. I don't care.
Yeah, but he made two comments. I forget what the other one was, but
that's
the first one
though.
he was talking about how they're talking about not remembering the characters. Well, they could just shut the fuck up. That's
I don't like that.
It doesn't sit right with me.
It doesn't sit right with me either. That is very defensive.
We work in customer service.
Yeah.
You know, and honestly, lately,
it would be nice to be able to just tell people. I never would, but
I think the world has made such a shift in the last year and a half to where like even I have bad customer service experience when I'm like, you know, not at work, like when I go somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Lately, it's definitely gotten worse. And I don't really give a shit because I know how people really feel.
Yeah,
you know? Like
you do.
When I'm at my job, I'm not in the best mood when you ask me a stupid fucking question.
Right. But
I think I ask stupid questions.
But you don't succumb. You haven't succumbed to the world in that regard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You still.
I'm not pissed about the cold orange juice being in produce.
Yeah. You still put on that face and that smile and that. Maybe
I think I still have really good customer service between the place I work and the flight school. I think I still do.
Yeah.
But I can understand why the world is making the shift it is because you can go work for an app and make more money than you make at a real job now. Like, why the fuck are you going to go and do a customer service job where you have to fake a smile all day?
Yeah.
But, you know,
it's also, I feel like the youth now too. It's so different.
But my point is though, James Cameron is trying to sell this movie. Okay. This is literally customer service for him at this point.
He's just like, I don't give a fuck anymore either.
Literally all he has to say is let the movie speak for itself.
Yeah.
Or I hope they enjoy it. You know,
That's such
I hope people can put 2009 movie behind them, and they can come out and watch my movie.
Right,
and
right.
I hope everyone has a
be
good
more
time,
articulate about it and be like more professional,
confident.
confident. Yeah,
let your work speak for itself.
Right,
Don't tell people to shut the fuck up. And I know the guy has millions of dollars. He's not struggling in any way, shape, or form. He's not trying to make ends meet. He's not living paycheck to paycheck by any means. So really, at the end of the day, what the fuck does he care?
Right.
But he should care.
But that's the whole thing. You think, well, he doesn't care, but at the same time, you have, I don't know, I wouldn't say maybe honor is not the right word, but you have your reputation or like, whatever.
Comes down to him, in my opinion. It looks like he doesn't have confidence in the movie.
I agree. That's not an answer you would say about something you're proud of, and you were like, well, that, and then you were confident it was going to succeed.
Exactly.
It's something like, well, so they can go fuck themselves.
Yeah, really. It's like if they don't like it, they can shut.
It's so funny. Like I can see someone like Quentin Tarantino saying something like that,
and it would make
sense
for Quentin,
right? But he's not Quentin Tarantino.
Exactly. He's a different person.
It's a totally different. Yeah.
I think James Cameron is a director that most young people haven't really heard of.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So they're not going to know the name James Cameron whenever they see the article. They're going to be like, "Who the fuck is this old guy telling me to shut the fuck up?"
Like,
they're going to be like, "I was born in 2009 when Avatar came out."
Yeah, you're right.
But
that's kind of weird. That's funny though. I think it's funny. I think it is baffling though.
That's like one of our store managers getting on the intercom and telling the customers to get the fuck out.
Yeah. It is. It's off-putting for sure.
Yeah.
And I don't give a fuck about the Avatar movies, to be honest. I think they were.
I'll watch them when they're free on Disney Plus.
I don't have Disney Plus, so I'll probably see it eventually. But
they're making 3 at once right now. You know that, right?
Yeah, I think we talked about it.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah,
I think it's really crazy. Cool kind of idea. Honestly.
Yeah, the first one wasn't. I don't think it was a bad movie. I thought the CG was good. I don't think it was revolutionary though. I don't think it was something. It isn't something I remember. I don't remember the characters' names.
Jake Sully is the main character, but I only know that because I rewatched it 2 years ago.
So you say Sully, I would have thought Monster Inc.
Yeah, exactly.
I would have remembered that.
I would have thought the airline pilot who named Hudson.
And Mike Wazowski. I remember him.
Mike Wazowski.
I remember Woody. I remember Buzz. I remember all these names. None of those characters were memorable for me. I remember there was like a military guy that was the villain, and he got in the suit at the end.
That was Josh Brolin played him.
Oh, really? See, I didn't even know he was in the movie. It's great.
So what I've seen as the common reception lately of the movie, and we're talking 13 years in the future now, people are saying it's not that good. And to be honest, the plot is decently bare bones.
Yeah.
But I think what Avatar is really big for, and you just said you're going to disagree with me on this because you just said you disagree with me technically. I think the visuals were pretty incredible for 2009. I think that's what carried the movie was the visuals on it.
I can't say I disagree because I don't remember enough about the movie. I don't remember
visually,
it well.
It was a good movie. The story was a good story. But like I said, it was a little bit bare bones. I don't think it was a bad story by any means.
Yeah.
I probably back then the movie was a 10 out of 10. I think now we have higher expectations for storytelling. So I think now it probably would have come out probably 7 or 8 out of 10. So, and like I said, I watched it 2 years ago. That's the last time I saw it.
This is gonna sound like random, but have you ever seen Small Soldiers?
I have. I love Small Soldiers to death, bro.
To me, that movie is such a better movie.
Oh, it is.
And for some reason,
it is such a bad movie, but I love it.
Yeah, okay, I could be totally wrong because I don't remember Avatar the story that much, but I feel like Small Soldiers is a better version of Avatar because you have like the aliens and then you have like the soldiers. Like the soldier toys that hate the aliens for no reason, and they're like fighting each other, right? And the humans are kind of like helping the aliens. Well, the kids. Yeah, I love that movie. I haven't seen that movie in ages either, but I remember Archer was the main like mutant character. I don't remember what the soldiers' names were, but I think Tommy Lee Jones was the voice of the sergeant guy.
Yeah, I think so too. I think you're right.
And not Bill Maher. There was some comedian was in it as well.
I don't remember.
I don't remember, but
It's been a long
I like that movie.
time. I just
it's been
remember
longer.
enjoying
But I
the
remember
movie.
more about that movie than I do about Avatar.
I love how they kind of made the good guys Native Americans and the bad guys were just like Americans.
American soldiers, which is like Avatar, right? It was like the American soldiers were bad guys, and then the aliens were like the good guys.
The Na'vi were like
Native Americans,
very similar to natives.
Yeah. I wonder what movie came out first. I'm curious.
Oh, definitely Small Soldiers.
Yeah,
Small Soldiers. I'm gonna guess closest to the pin. Stop right there.
Okay, I haven't Googled either yet.
2002.
See, I think Small Soldiers. I would say 90. I think it's 90s, 99.
You might be right, but I'm gonna stick with 2002.
2002.
Yeah,
All right.
I think it came out after me.
All right. Let's see. Small Soldiers. Oh boy.
What is it?
Hang on.
Oh, you haven't even looked at it yet.
No,
you just got an ad for hot singles in your area.
It came up, but then I went to click on the link and it turned into small SUVs. 1998.
Oh, that's my year. Fuck.
Yeah.
You're right. I'll take 3 howls for it.
Ooh. Okay. And Jay, I think his name was Jay Moore. He was a comedian, wasn't it?
All right, 3 howls. Here we go.
All right. If you can get close to the name of the villain.
No, I'm not gonna get close to anything.
Okay.
It's been too long.
Dude, Phil Hartman was on. David Cross was in that.
David Cross.
Jay Moore.
Not Burns.
Dennis Leary. I forgot that he was in that movie. Chip Hazard.
Chip Hazard.
What was the name of the commander guy? I love that name, Chip Hazard.
That's another fucking like small injury, like burning the roof of your mouth, or like cutting it with a chip.
Chip Hazard.
That's some shit that'll like put me out of commission. Or a canker sore.
Oh, you're right,
bro. Canker sore.
Do you know what the worst for like destroying your mouth was?
What?
Captain Crunch, dude.
Oh, I never ate Captain Crunch, but I've heard horror stories.
I don't not fuck with Captain Crunch
Razor
anymore.
Scooters on the ankles, Legos for the feet.
Warheads are another one that like the acidity in them.
Yeah,
like will leave fucking sores in your side of your mouth.
Oh,
they're the worst.
Terrible.
Like if you just leave it and you like suck on it, that'll fuck you up, dude.
I think I gotta get some sleep here soon.
Okay,
so we're gonna have to call it a night.
Let's wrap it then.
I missed my dad joke last week, by the way.
Oh shit, we gotta.
So I gotta double this week.
All right, we'll double it.
What oh, sorry. So I went out to eat recently, and my waitress had a black eye. So I told her my order twice because she clearly doesn't know how to listen.
Nice.
So that's the bad joke.
I saw that one coming.
And then I have a cleaner joke for you kids.
All right.
Probably should have told that one first.
That was the John joke.
So what do you get when you boil a funny bone?
What do you get?
A laughing stock.
Oh, nice.
Isn't that pretty humorous?
That's good. It's like a grocery store joke too.
Very on topic, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me see if I can get the outro.
See if the outro will
Bam.
like a charm.
To Mind Hops.
Oh, have a
Make
great
sure
night,
to
everybody.
like, rate, and
Thanks for
review.
joining us.
And
Thank
we'll
you
be
so
back
much.
soon. But in the meantime,
Yes.
follow
And
us
we're gonna
on
be
Twitter
shooting
at
for next
Mind
Friday,
Hops.
probably.
From there, you can get
Probably.
updates
I hope you guys
and submit
enjoyed our
questions
bad
for
opinions.
upcoming shows.
Yeah.
Thank you for
As
listening.
always.
And see you next time.